If saying your price out loud makes you feel uncomfortable, this is why. It's not just a money mindset problem. So today I'm going to walk you through three things that are actually causing it so you can finally feel confident charging it. And when I say uncomfortable, I don't just mean nervous. I mean that moment when you say your price and immediately feel like you need to justify it, lower it, or explain it. Most people think that's a mindset issue. Sometimes it is, but most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, it's because your pricing, your offer, and your boundaries aren't finally aligned. So, of course, you don't trust the number. The first reason your pricing feels off is you're not actually clear on what your services really are. And I don't mean what's written on your sales page and each of the modules. I mean everything that goes into actually working with you. Because I've been there. I used to charge $50 for an hour session. And in my head, I was thinking, okay, I'm just meeting with them for an hour. But that wasn't the reality. I was thinking about their business outside the call, responding, adjusting, helping them navigate things in real time. There was a lot more going into that than just that 1 hour. But I wasn't accounting for that. So, of course, the price felt off because I was charging for part of the work while delivering the entire experience. So, here's what I want you to do: stop thinking about your service as a session or per hour and actually write out everything that happens when someone works with you, not just the visible part, everything. Because when you see it clearly, your pricing starts to make a lot more sense. The second reason your pricing feels off is your boundaries aren't actually defined clearly. And this is where people start slipping into people pleasing without even realizing it. Because what happens is you get into the conversation and someone starts to hesitate. So instead of holding your price, you start adjusting. You explain more. You offer more. You make exceptions. And I've seen this play out in real time. I had someone talking to me about working with someone else, and they had told me that this particular person had talked them down so that they could pay a fraction of the actual price and still expected the full service. They said this particular person showed up less and needed more and took up more space than someone paying the full price. And that's the part people don't think about. They didn't just pay less, they cost the business more. And this is where resentment starts creeping in because now you're not just undercharging, you're over delivering to people who were never a good fit to begin with. So instead of adjusting your price, start here. Define what is included in your service. And just as importantly, what is not. Because the moment you get clear on that, it becomes a lot easier to say your price without negotiating it. The third reason your pricing feels off is it's not aligned with your audience or your lead flow. And this is where people start saying things like, people can't afford this, but that's not always true. I had a client who kept lowering their price because they thought that was the problem. But when we looked at it, the issue wasn't the price. They had stopped bringing in new people consistently into the world. So they were selling to the same audience over and over again. And when that happens, your pricing starts to feel like the problem because it's the only lever you think you can pull. So instead of fixing the real problem, they kept adjusting the number until eventually people were just waiting for the price to drop. And this is where your pricing really starts to break down because now it's not just about the price, it's about who you're attracting and how often new people are coming in. So ask yourself this: are you consistently bringing in new people who actually match your service? Or are you trying to resell to the same audience and lowering your price to get them to say yes? Because if your lead flow isn't supporting your pricing will always feel unstable. And here's the thing: most people spend years adjusting their price trying to fix this when the price was never actually the problem. It was everything underneath it. Your offer wasn't fully defined, your boundaries were bending, and new people weren't coming in consistently enough to support the number you were trying to charge. So the price kept feeling wrong because the foundation wasn't there yet. And until the foundation is solid, no number is going to feel right. And if you're listening to this and realizing this isn't a pricing problem, it's how your business is structured underneath it, that's exactly what I help you fix. Inside my Cash and Clients Without Chaos program, we clean up your offer, your pricing, your client acquisition, and your delivery. So everything actually works together and your revenue becomes consistent. If you want to go deeper into that, you can check out my services below. And if you want to keep going, watch this next video. YouTube's recommending it for a reason.